welcome to the Geek Easy, you fellow geeks, where today we will be discussing Batman, A Death in the Family trade paperback. This is published by DC, written by Jim Starlin, and drawn by Marv Wolfman. This collects the 4-part miniseries of A Death in the Family, and it also continues with A Lonely Place of Dying. So the first one, A Death in the Family, is the death of Tim Drake. And then the second part is how... Jason Todd, his death, and then how Tim Drake becomes Robin in the second part. And in here we even have, let me see if I can find it. It should have... Well, anyway, there is the... Oh, here it is. Right here. It is the ad that shows that they ran where you could vote on the outcome of Jason Todd living or dying. So this came out in, I think, 1988. You have Jason Todd as Robin, who took over for the original Robin. And from what I've read, Jason Todd was not very popular. There were a lot of people, some people liked him, some people didn't. So DC says, okay, let's do this. They decided to set up a phone line with one number that you could call, and then another number. If you call one number, Jason survives. If you call another number, he's going to die. And they in the storyline, and it was up to the callers. This was in '88, so there was well before the internet and all that. So I guess you had to call in, and I guess there's a controversy that some guy used his computer to help do it, and him dying won by just like a couple hundred votes or something like that, so they killed him off. And according to an article in here, in between the two series, right here, it was written by Marv Wolfman. DC had a problem at this point. There was going to be no Robin. And what had happened was Nightwing, he is now with the Teen Titans, and he had been aged up by about 3 years in order to make it a little bit more realistic for him to be in the Titans. And DC wanted to bring him back as the Robin, as a sidekick to Batman. But they wanted to de-age him, so bring him back down. But they couldn't have him, at say like 18 or whatever in the Titans, and then 15 back as the new Robin, and they didn't want to do that. So what they did is they came up with a new character to be Robin, and that would be Tim Drake. And Tim Drake became Robin because he had found out just through brains and sort of detective work that who Batman and Robin were. And then he recognized the switch between Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, and then he also realized that Jason Todd had died. And that's how he eventually became Robin. Now, this is a classic series, and after reading it, I see why. It was very well written. It shows Jason Todd's petulance, his impatience, why Bruce Wayne is starting to get a little aggravated with him because he wasn't paying attention, he was endangering himself. And it also shows a little sympathy, earns him a little sympathy, because you're like, dude, he saw his parents killed, just like Batman did. And it's taken him a long time to get over it. I mean, if you think about it, Bruce Wayne still hasn't gotten over his parents' death. And people respond in different ways. Just the Jason Todd wasn't dealing with it as well as Bruce did. And his impatience eventually got him killed. And, I really like how they wrote this. And then I sort of like the story of A Lonely Place of Dying, because instead of again having another gymnast or an orphan that Bruce takes on, it's just some kid who figured stuff out. He's got his parents, but he wants to be Robin. He doesn't want to be the main hero. He wants to be Robin. He wants to help Batman. And he convinces everybody that Batman needs a Robin because he gets too dark. He pushes himself too much. So I'm going to give this a 4.25 out of 5 and say if you haven't read this book, you should, because it is fantastic. And it's just a really enjoyable read. The script is good. The story is good. The art is on par or above par. And I'll just say get it. Anyway, let me know in the comments below whether you read it and what you thought of it. Like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy your comments.